Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today, man, do we have another update and round of fighting that has, I guess, recently commenced. It has not been, at least that much, I would argue, for the past 24 to maybe 48 hours when it comes to some of the biggest fights. I have, at least, again, if we're comparing them against what we saw on the Sophrostia to Nivola passes. But at this time, TM and TA have what seemingly appears to be coordinated efforts and pushes being made now on as they advance. And you got BDL who's making trying to make a stand here, at least on the TM side. The side that we started off north, just a bit north of us on the TA side, doesn't really have at least that much resistance currently. Doesn't mean that they won't meet some, probably in a bit, if so. However, right now, this is where we're really seeing a decent bit of fighting. There we go, our boy Ghost. We got Mr. Sneaky there from TM hanging out. Who else do we got from on the BDL? We got Danil, Jamador, Hackers. I don't know if I see Does out there right now. Maybe he's just refreshing. We got an SS1-2. Oh, I really like how we're trying to spread this out, though, and attack from kind of multiple sides, so to speak. This actually isn't bad from BDL. Again, a little too much clumping for me. Again, you guys know how I feel about that, where, I just think it's a little bit more ideal to spread out. Again, I think anyone can really just generally understand the idea of just taking unnecessary AoE damage. And you can see that on both sides. If you just look at all the negatives that are being thrown out, again, especially even when they're attacking, right? Multiple negatives. I mean, just things to avoid, right, as much as possible. It doesn't mean you're always going to be able to avoid every single one, but making a conscious effort to try is always going to help, and I would argue pay dividends in the long run. Yeah, so it looks like right now, I think this is a keep. It is. So we got a BDL keep. We got 16 minutes until it's out. It looks like there's a fort here. Tower, I should say. A BDL tower. That has a decent bit of time to go. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to try and reach out to any of these. BDL seems like they're pretty good on having multiple forts and/or keeps down, flags, I should say. I'm telling you, man, to get that good sleep. And, part of me, I think it's just the sinuses, the congestion. Man, really cold here as of late, mixed out with the pollen and the season. Never used to have any of these when I lived in California. But, you move to the East Coast, and it's just painful. Should be taking my nasal, whatever it is, spray. Lady got me it. Such a winner. Okay. Let's see here. So we got Andy's pushing. Always curious to see what people are running to as well these days, right? So we got Thea, Lilia. I wonder if people are still running, or if they are running Lilia Van, if we're seeing Kanara and Nico. Ooh, there's a Van. Oh my gosh, dude. Did you guys see that? That was just straight massive. Guy went from 100 to 0. Wow, it's intense. We got another Thea. Maybe we'll see what we got for some secondaries here, if I can get a visual. Battle 7. I wish it just said kill streak. That to me, so much more visually appealing if it said that. I'd really appreciate it more so, too. Let's see who we got. So we got Lilia Waldeer. We got a Thea Atheist I just saw. Nico. Let me see here. There's so many going off. I'm trying to see when the secondaries proc. Probably easier for the big fight. Ooh, the Garwood Nika. Again, kind of the budget-friendly version of Madeline Nika, which I still think is very doable, very usable. Especially on the free-to-play side. Battle 6. Oh, wow. Someone's running Waldeer Atheist. We got a Waldeer Lilia. I guess you could see it when it does the big battle. I would just love to see the kill streaks, to be honest. That. I just think that's what it should be renamed to. right? I mean, my assumption is that battle, every time one of the battle things pops, it means, hey, they got to kill. Oh, there you go, Vel and Lilia being used. And you know what's interesting to me is that when we're watching the fights play out, what we're often seeing is players that are just running like the best Legion march that they can, right? Instead of, or I should say in lieu of, having 5 Legions or 5 Legion/marches, I should say, of the same unit type, right? So you can run 5 mages or 5 archers. So, as an example, compared to, again, what you're seeing now, which is, you know, in quite a few situations, the players are running the best Legion composition or hero composition per Legion that they can, instead of trying to spread it out a little bit more so they can run, you know, more of the same type. That seems to be what at least the meta is currently for a lot of the units that I'm seeing. I'm sure there are some people that are testing those out, but just more often than not, that's what I'm seeing. Like for me, if I was to run it, I would like to try and get away with running 4 or 5 of the same Legion type. Why? Because then I can micro a little bit easier, right? Compared to if you're running, you know, 3, 4, or 5 of the different unit types, you know, that's just more micro you have to do, and less likelihood that you may actually engage in it. Again, BDL has some decent attendance here right now on both sides. And I mean, they look somewhat evened out with at least the amount of... And this is the thing, man. Part of me feels like they're playing this out somewhat decently because it doesn't look like they're attacking the builders. Oh, except for that nice Shadow Games that just went down. Wow, lots of negative purple. But yeah, in this situation, I would just say, dude, ignore the builders. Focus on the fighters. Unless the fighters are behind the builders, then okay, you can make a case for attacking them until, you know, they re-engage, right, where you're kind of forcing them, you know, putting the ball in their hands. I do like how BDL is making it feels like somewhat of a little bit of an effort to spread out. TM kind of doing a little bit here as well. I mean, I'd like to see more. I also like this guy, dude, Kakimoto, man, just going on the flank down here. And again, man, can't wait for once the new update drops, where we'll be able to see infantry having a little bit more of a hand to play in the field. Also, Cav going to be getting that nice attack, or I should say skill, right, increase, and a little bit of attack too as well. So I'll be interested to see if we see a little bit more Cav and maybe, I would argue, more infantry than Cav. But if we end up seeing an increase or an uptick in those units being ran, because right now, right, for the most part, all intents and purposes, it's pretty much a range game. Right, no one's really hard committing on either side. Oh, wow. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of lag here, and hopefully that'll correct itself maybe shortly. Yeah. Just because I can't see... Oh, never mind. That's just a ghost. But this guy... Yeah, see, I can't see his... Let's do this. Let's zoom out. And maybe come back in. Cool. Okay, I think that fixed it for us slightly. I really wish I could... Oh, yeah, see? I wish you could zoom out a little bit more and still see the field. Does anyone else ever wonder that? Is it just me where I feel as though I'd want to zoom out maybe one more click, maybe 2 at the most, but still be able to see the actual field of play? Like, this is okay, but to me, I don't know, part of me just feels as though one more zoom out would be Terry Suave. So, we'll have to see. BDL looking like some of the numbers are lessening right now. TM probably still getting good replenishment through the pass. Yeah, they are. And they obviously have a bunch of units still back here on standby. I'm telling you, man, drink water. But I feel it all right here. So I'll definitely do something after this. Just want to try and get you guys a little bit of some PvP action. So, and again, you can see here, man, lots of Lilias, lots of Vowns, a couple Waldeers. I like that pan that we just saw coming up. A couple Atheists, looks like for the Flyings. I like this all-win primary, dude. You run that control tree, sir. I mean, it makes sense, The Last of Us. Some more Waldeers that we're seeing. There you go. All-win Lilia. And to me, it's actually not bad, right? If they're opting to run all-win as a secondary, excuse me, or even a primary, where it frees up and lets you run Waldeer, right? Because arguably, you could probably have 2 really good mage marches, right? If you ran like Veln, maybe you ran Veln Alwyn, and then you ran, or Lilia Alwyn, then you ran Veln Lilia or Veln Waldir, right? As an example, that could be something you do. You could even make the argument and run those 4 heroes by themselves, and then go ahead and just add a secondary to them, like your Hosk. You could do a Hosk. You could add, Eliana as another, Thea. I mean, again, just as some examples, right, that you could still make it work if you wanted to try and run multiple of the same. But even running that, if you just kind of want to go more of, hey, I'm just going to condense, I'm going to kind of go top 1% on the push, right, that's something that's fine too. Again, that's what we've been seeing. I would just argue quite a bit. Yeah, man. So, again, I mean, nice skirmish, a nice little fight that's happening here. BDL definitely giving them a run, at least a little bit of a run, I should say. But, I mean, there's just so many TM players that are on right now. And this, to me, is the right play, right? Don't fight at the pass. Fight in the open field. I think the challenge is that they would probably just rather be the ones initiating. Excuse me. Where, right, because we talk about this, where if you don't have pass control, then you're, our boy Judy's out. Where if you don't have pass control, it does make it more challenging and difficult to be the initiator. Instead, you become the reactor, because you are not the ones who are going to be going through the pass first. You have to, your attendance and or attentiveness has to be more on point, if not just equally as on point as the ones that are attacking, because they can attack anytime they want. Who knows? You could have 50 players on the other side of the pass, but half of you had to, maybe half of you were getting some food, or a mixture of getting some food, or you had to go use the restroom, or, your game lagged out for something and you're reloading, whatever it may be. And that could be that moment where the alliance that does control the pass decides to push through. So, yeah. I like how we're getting a little bit more out, but I'm like, man, dude, I am JJ. That infantry march just didn't get anywhere, right? Storm Shadow's making it a little bit farther here, which isn't bad. And yeah, part of me actually really feels like this is going to be like when this recent game update drops on the 15th, or this new update. My hope is that it is going to put infantry in at least a little bit better of a position in Cav, where they can maybe impact more, where the entire kind of meta isn't dependent and or reliant on their only being ranged as kind of the top enforcers. And then infantry and Cav is just kind of like, oh, that's cute. So, let's go see real quick. We'll come back. I just want to see if there's anything going on up here outside of any resistance. Doesn't look like it, so Tia's kind of free to roam, man. They're going to get this. Oh, wow. So they're building a tower currently, and they're destroying a tower down here. So this will be done in 40 minutes. Tower built in 48 minutes. Okay. Oh, wow, dude. They're going after everything. So they got people on all the towers to destroy. Yeah, they went hard. Oh, they missed those, though. That's connected to the pass. Right, there's at least 2. I don't know if yeah, they could probably reach this one too as well, but I don't know how smart that'll be just with the keep there and how many people they have in it. Oh, 2, they have no one in the keep. Yeah, so I mean, if Tia really wanted to, they could probably be doing 3 or 4 more things at that time. Oh, wow, dude. Now here comes the TM. Yeah, man. There, well. Dang it. I was trying to get a good... I wonder if I zoom in more and I go 1, 2, 3. Oh, it doesn't work. 1, 2, and then 1 back. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Maybe we just figured out some special sauce here. What I just did. That could be pretty cool. So, let us take a look now. We can see what I have. Here we go. BDL, Wayne's up top, set. SS1-2, the flying coming in from the different angle. I really like that play. Yeah, looks like trying to run him. But again, they just got a lot, man. Oh, I like this kind of cav play here from Aqua and Darling, man. I don't know if that was coordinated, but I am all for awesome flanking plays and just using cav in a creative way, which I really love that. I actually think cav, in my opinion, is probably the most unique unit in the game, just due to their speed and the fact that you can use cav in multiple ways, whether it's chasing down, if it's just retreating quicker, if it's drawing attention and kind of being like an off tank, so to speak, in the game. And to me, I feel like it'd be so fun to run just a full 5 March of cav, especially after more heroes get in the game, and we end up seeing some, which I'm sure will be future adjustments on the PvP side to potentially just improve further their viability. But yeah, man, it looks like the offensive is slowing down a bit. Either that or they're regathering in their staging area that they got right there. To then maybe just see how this plays out. Looks like TM's backing up too as well. Yeah, looks like this is probably going to do it for us on this one. Again, if we see some more fighting, I'll definitely try and cover and get you guys as much as we can. It does seem to be the case, right? I mean, I think obviously over the next 24 hours. And probably even by the end of the day, we'll have a better idea on what's going to happen, because right now TA and TM are effortlessly pushing into Daralan. They're most likely going to end up getting these flags removed. And then the next stop is going to be going for, I would imagine, the center fortresses / any alliance fortresses that are in and around the area. And then who knows if they'll work their way north or try and go for some of the other passes just to clean up some of these forts over here. But definitely in the driver's seat for them right now. I mean, I just don't think there's any denying it currently. And I will say this, right? I do think part of me does feel, and I don't think I've mentioned this or said this before, but when it comes to them, the dev team removing the union system, in this season, with how impactful this season is versus other kingdoms, because there are no other seasons right now, right? It's supposed that 7 through 10 are going to be the next one, but right, if you make the argument that like the most, I don't want to say the most important kingdom, but the most impactful kingdom right now, with you testing something for the first time, right? This is essentially your beta merged kingdom. I just think making those types of super big adjustments, like with the removal of the unit system, again, was impacting. Now, you could probably make the argument it impacted both sides, but could lean more to one side over the other. And that, I think, in and of itself is a little bit of a blow, right? Probably at minimum. And so I think, part of me feels, and don't get me wrong, there's going to be times that arise in any game where you're going to make big changes, and it's good, and it's arguably will affect the landscape more or less in some kingdoms, just depending on where they at in the stage they're at in their current season as well. So there's no getting around that. But we're not really at that point yet, right? And that's kind of my focus here, is that you're still kind of in this nest egg period where you could still make changes, but just doing it in a more, again, I would argue, appropriate way that's also taking the community into consideration. And again, it's not to say that I think, this is the worst thing that's ever been done. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that I do think communication and timing is important. With that in mind, that is pretty much going to be it for me. Again, I want to hear what you guys think. TM just ended up getting that flag removed. They got the next one that's being built right now. They're going to get this one. Who knows if they're going to start working their way south to remove some as well. I wonder if they're going to end up pushing this group. That's like right here, right? If they just kind of go for that, if they're going to organize and maybe do a deep push into the territory, that'd be interesting. Also seems like BDL probably isn't obviously not giving up anytime soon, and there's probably going to be another re-engagement here shortly. But yeah, it is, man. It just seems like a slow-moving truck that is just not going to give. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let me know your feedback. Again, if you're someone who's in SS1-2 and you're playing, what are you seeing from either side? What do you think the impact will be if this area gets cleared out? Will that be the next biggest blow to the SS Union side with how they'll play out with S5 and S6? Do you think, no, it's not really going to do anything? Sure, they're going to lose some territory, but that's not going to stop them from constantly fighting. Or if you're someone who's an observer and you're not in the kingdom, what do you think as well? Right? Would obviously love to hear your thoughts. And lastly, let's just do a quick show off for leaderboards. So Burning and Dust still sitting at that 5 and 7 spot. Burning still top merit points. Ghost is catching up though, man. Less than 200k away. Duz is looking good right now. TAJ is getting pretty close when it comes. We got Alliance merits here. BDL and God, man, dude, neck and neck, 73 mil. They are putting up an insane fight. NDL right there with them. That's awesome. GRZ, good merit points, 28 mil. TMS is there. IDL, right at 8, a little bit more than when we saw them last time. And yeah, I mean, really for all intents and purposes, right, your top 8 is right there, but 95 mil and 100 to 103 mil union points for TNTM. I mean, again, for being kind of these mega alliances, they have to at least at minimum be happy with being able to fight this much and, accumulate a lot of merit points, which I'm sure everyone is who's fighting. But especially for them and in the position that they're at least in currently and now. So, alrighty, that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, and remember, I should say this as well, right? If there's any ever wars in your kingdom, please feel free to message me on Discord. You can always join the Discord too as well. I have a CoD Wars drama channel there, so anyone that wants to ping me on information, if there is some drama going on in your kingdom, if there's some wars that are happening, right, as long as the Augerstone chapter has been completed, that allows for the fog to be unfogged, which typically is around when level 3 passes open, then please feel free to let me know. I'm always happy to come and cover. That is going to do it for me again. And finally, as always, until next time, I will catch you later.